Hello everyone, welcome back to SSBCrack exams. I'm Anuradha, and in today's session, I'm going to tell you about certain important things that you need to keep in your mind if and when you'll be asked weird out of the box questions in your SSB interview. Now, SSB interview is designed to test the candidate's psychology and the ability to work under stress. The whole process tests for congruency in your responses at various levels and under various situations. There have been some instances where a candidate has been asked weird and out of the box questions in the SSB interview and the SSB conference. While the candidate wonders why and tries to figure out the answer, the assessors test how he or she is approaching the answer and his or her attitude to reach a conclusion logically. So let's see some of the questions and situations. Those are weird and out of the box, obviously, which demands presence of mind, out of the box, and logical thinking. But before that, let me tell you that if you want to prepare for your various defense competitive exams at the comfort of your home, you can do so by logging into our website ssbcrackexams.com and subscribe to our courses. You can also follow us on our YouTube channel, our Instagram page, our Twitter page, join our Telegram group, and to know more about the different exams and the ways to subscribe to those exams, you can check out learn.ssbcrackexams.com. You can also now download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. So let's start with the types of weird and out of the box questions and the sample responses you can give as your answers to those questions. Question number 1. The IO can ask you to tell him about the 5 uses of eyeglasses other than vision correction. You can say that eyeglasses can protect your eyes from extreme cold, sun, dust, and other environmental threats. They can also be used to start a fire. They can send rays to signal someone. They can also be used as a cutting and digging tool, and frames can be made into a hook. Next, during a conference, the SSB conference, a candidate, when he enters a room or comes into the room in a hurry and asks permission to enter, he is often asked by the interviewing officer questions like, without looking at the door, tell me, did you push the door or pulled the door? Followed by, what was written on the outer side of the door, push or pull? Now, this question is basically to test the attentiveness and alertness of a candidate under stress and nervousness. So for this kinds of questions, you need to be attentive and you need to pay more attention to your surroundings. The third kind of question can be asked by the interviewing officer is, if you were stuck in a room with no access to phone or internet, how would you know the temperature outside? A sample response to this question can be, I would use a thermometer, or I would shout to the person outside to know the temperature. Next, a question can be like this, what will you do if I run away with your sister? Now this question again tests how your emotions affect your decision-making ability. You might get angry, you might deny the situation, you might go for a police complaint, or you might think of a logical answer to this hypothetical question. A sample response for this question can be, I would wait for you both to come back and conduct a grand marriage. Next, a question can be like this, tell me the exact volume of this room. Now this question is generally to build pressure on you for the upcoming questions. However, if you fail to answer this question, it would suggest to the interviewing officer that you have a low grasp of what you studied at your school level. So just give a blind guess and explain with logic involving the formula for cube's volume. The next kind of question can be, what is something that is true that almost nobody agrees with you on? Now this question is again to check how well you reason and justify why you are correct and everyone else is wrong. This answer to the question will also give the IO an idea of how good can you convince people with your logic. Another very common and interesting question is, what weighs more, 100 kilogram of coins or 100 kilogram of feathers? Now, this question is asked again to check your alertness and logical reasoning. Candidates generally tend to think in terms of quantity and weight per unit of feather and coin, but the most apt answer to this kinds of questions can be both are 100 kilogram, both weigh same irrespective of their quantity. Next weird question can be, what is the highest number you can make using 3 digits? Now you have 3 digits and the digit of the highest value is usually 9. Candidates would tend to think that the highest number you can make using all nines are 999. But have you ever thought of 9 power 9 power 9? Well, if you haven't, then that is your answer. The next kind of question can be, you have this Milton bottle. Now it can be of the company of Milton or any other company. Now tell me the maximum uses of it. That means you need to tell the IO about the maximum uses of a simple water bottle. The sample response can be, first I will drink water, then I will take out the cap and play catch catch. I can fill it with refreshments. The bottle is hard, so I can use it as a hammer. I can also use it as a weapon. If the IO asks you to tell him about 2 more uses of the same bottle, you can say the bottle is shiny, so I can use it for signaling. At the end, I will play truth and dare with it. Right? Another most important question can be of telling the IO about the 5 or more uses of a simple pen. So these are some of the uses which you can take. First, pressing teeny tiny buttons when you want to restart phone or modem, etc. A pen can be of use to you. It can also be used to scratch your back, as a conductor's button, as a pointer when you are giving a presentation, as a weapon to kill someone, to open or tear a plastic package, as a bookmark, to do a hair bun Japanese style, to play pen fight, to color something, or learn pen spinning and take part in pen spinning tournament. The next kind of question can be, what is the color of the wall behind you? Now, you need to be very attentive and you need to observe things when you go inside the room for these kinds of questions to be answered by you. Now, as soon as the IO will ask you the question, the natural instinct of you will be to look back and check out the color of the wall. Well, I would suggest not to do it because the room where you will be called into will have all the same walls with the same color. So the most important and the most easiest way to check out the color of the wall behind you is to check out the color of the wall in front of you. Remember, the color of the walls would be the same, so all the walls will have the same color mostly, right? The next kind of question can be, can you see the painting of that aircraft? Tell me which aircraft is that. Now, you may face such questions in AFSB interview. Make sure you have knowledge of aircraft and how to identify them. Mostly such paintings are of Indian Air Force or IAF aircraft only. So make sure you're prepared about what are the different kinds of IAF aircrafts that we have, and so that you can identify them as readily as possible. So I hope going through these weird and out of the box questions and the ways that I told you about how you can use those ways while you are encountered with these kinds of questions in SSB interview, you can answer these kinds of questions. So be prepared with the answers beforehand. Follow the tips, follow the important things that I have discussed in this session while answering the questions, the weird and out of the box questions, if and when they are asked to you in SSB interview. You can also buy these books, which will help you tremendously in your preparation for SSB interview by visiting our website, SSBCrack shop, but you can also order them off from Amazon and Flipkart. So I'll see you next in the next session pertaining to your SSB interview, where I'll be giving you more tips and tricks to crack your SSB interview. Till then, work hard, practice hard, be prepared, and be confident of yourself. Jai Hind.